Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us for June 2022's Stampin' Class by Mail. I'm Gina Wieselman of MySweetPaper.com, and I can't wait for you to stamp and assemble your cards using the Butterfly Kisses suite by Stampin' Up. I've teamed up with Brenda Cardinal, another Stampin' Up demonstrator, to offer these monthly classes by mail. Brenda's going to show you how to stamp and assemble your cards, and then make sure to watch to the end of this video to see a sneak peek of next month's card designs. While you're here, make sure to click subscribe on this YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of our new videos. With that, I'll turn you over to Brenda. Happy stamping.
Hi everyone, I'm Brenda Cardinal of stampintulip.stampinup.net, and I'm excited to show you how to stamp and assemble your cards using the Butterfly Kisses suite by Stampin' Up. This suite can be found in Stampin' Up's brand new 2022-2023 annual catalog. If you ordered a class kit by mail from either Gina or me, you already have all your cardstock and embellishments cut and ready to go. All you need to do is pull out the stamp set, ink pads, and a few other supplies shown here. Please reach out to Gina or me if you need any supplies, would like to chat about becoming a Stampin' Up demonstrator, or host a Stampin' Up event. Let's get started with our first card. Our first card is our Good Vibes card. As I mentioned, if you ordered a Stampin' Class by Mail kit from either Gina or me, all your parts and pieces, including those that have been die cut or punched, were shipped directly to your home. If not, here are the things you'll need to complete the cards as designed. Pause the video here to prep everything and then come back when you're ready. We'll start by doing our stamping, and we'll be using our new in color Starry Sky. And our stamping is quite simple. All we need to do is stamp the greeting for the front of our card. And we're going to position this so it's centered on our basic white strip here. Okay, we'll set that aside to dry. And that's really all our stamping, unless you'd like to stamp one of those cute butterflies on your envelope. So let's assemble our front panel here. And I wanted to quickly show you that the designer series paper started out as a 3x3 inch square, and then we made that diagonal cut. So for every piece, you end up with enough for 2 cards. So we're going to attach that to our Parakeet Party layer, and we're going to use Stampin' Seal for that. And we'll make sure the butterflies are going the right direction. So we will put this one in the lower right-hand corner. And I'm putting it so there's just a little of the Parakeet Party cardstock showing. And then I'll put the polka dots in the opposite corner with that same border. Then we'll bring back our greeting, and we'll use our Stampin' Seal to add that to the card as well. And we're going to position it so that we have equal borders above and below the greeting, and then we're going to position it as well so that it's centered in that section. And I think that looks pretty good. And then we'll take our paper snips and trim off the extra. Okay. Then we'll add this to our Starry Sky layer. And we're going to center that as well. And we'll set that aside just for a minute. And then we'll add our coordinating designer series paper to our basic white panel that's going to go on the inside of our card. It's always nice to have a little something on the inside of the card. And I'm going to position that so I just have that little border on the left side there. And then I'll check. See if I need to do a little trimming. Yep, probably a little bit right there. Okay. And then we'll bring our Parakeet Party card base in, and we'll use our bone folder to get a nice crease on that. And let's add our inside panel first. And then our outside panel, and I'm going to use dimensionals for this. I think I'll use 5. Pull those release papers. Yep, got them all. And then we'll center that. We want the same borders at the top and bottom, and the same borders left and right. Okay, then the last thing we'll do is bring our mini glue dots in, and we'll add our little bow. This is a new ribbon as well in that starry sky color. And one of the bonuses, as always, is that Gina and I tie those bows for you. Okay, and I think I'll put it right here, but you can put your bow wherever you'd like. Then if I bring our envelope back in, there's our first card design. Our next card is our Butterfly Love card. And here are the parts and pieces you'll need for this card. Again, for our stamping, it's quite simple. We're going to use our Starry Sky ink pad again. And all we need to do is stamp our greeting for the outside of our card. So we'll center that up the best we can on this little basic white piece. And then we'll just set that aside. And then that's all our stamping, unless you'd like to stamp a butterfly on your envelope. Okay, so let me show you how I got that heart shape punched in the designer series paper. And to do that, I used the heart punch pack, and I used the heart that has the straight edge around it. And it's kind of hard to, center it up just by trying to visually figure it out. So the trick here is to punch a Post-it note and to make sure part of the sticky part ends up on your punched image. So then all you need to do is lay the Post-it note down where you would like it, then slip your designer series paper in, line up that Post-it note heart, and then punch. And there you go. Now I should mention, in your kit, you may have gotten a combination of designer series papers. We couldn't decide, so we wanted to have some of each. So, all right, so let's start putting our front panel together. And we'll do that by using our Stampin' Seal, and we're going to add a little Stampin' Seal around the heart. And then we'll center our greeting inside that heart. Okay. And then if you have any excess of the basic white cardstock showing through, just take your paper snips and trim that off. Okay. And then we'll add this to our Starry Sky layer here. And you know what? I think what's going to be easier is if I show you how to do that toward edge before we add that. So take your Starry Sky piece of cardstock, and you just want it with your fingers, just tear the top off. And I like to do it so that it's not straight across. And then also tear the opposite end. Now, if you tear towards you like I am doing, you'll get a more kind of a, what do I want to say? Kind of a gradation of the paper. That doesn't sound quite right. But let me show you the opposite side. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. But if you tear away, you don't get that kind of that shabby chic frayed look on the top side like you do here. Okay, so now that we have that done, let's add our designer series paper, and I'm going to position it so that it is has more of the Starry Sky showing below our designer series paper than above. It looks like I got that a little crooked. Let me try that again. There we go. And I'm just going to double check, see if I have any excess showing. It looks like a little tiny bit right up here. Might be hard to see on camera, but okay. So then we'll set that aside, and then we'll add our coordinating designer series paper to our inside panel like we did for the first card. I'm going to place it in the same spot as we did for our first card, just off to the side there. Gives me plenty of room to write then my message. And I'll trim off the excess here. Oops, didn't get that quite trimmed off. I'm crooked. That's better. Okay, and then we'll bring our Starry Sky card base in, and we'll fold that in half. Use our bone folder to get a nice crease, and then we'll add our inside panel to the card base. And then we'll add this panel using Stampin' Dimensionals. And I think I'll use 5 like I did for the first card. And I'm going to mount this so it's a little higher. I'm going to have the same margins left and right, but a little higher. Okay, guess what? I forgot to add our baker's twine. Let's pull that up. Let's see if I can do it while it's still attached to my card. I would really recommend attaching your baker's twine before you attach this. No, I might be able to do it. Okay, there we go. This baker's twine comes in all the new in colors as well. It comes in as a 5 spool pack, so you have 1 spool for each of the new in colors. All right, look at that. I was able to recover. Let's see if I can kind of untwist this bow just a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to trim my tails here so they're even. I'm going to keep them long though. Okay, I thought I had that figured out. Nope, just not going to cooperate, is it? Stay. All right, and then we'll add our die cut butterfly. And to do that, I'll use the mini glue dots. And I would like my butterfly to look like it's flying a little bit here. So I'm going to take my mini glue dot and I'm going to roll it with my thumb to create kind of a hot dog shape. And I'm just going to put it on his little body. And I think I'll do 2. And I'll put that there. And the last thing we'll do is add our fun flower resin shapes. If you order the class kit by mail from us, you maybe got a different color combination as well. So if we bring our envelope back in, there is our second card design. Our last card is our Fluttering Butterfly Fun Fold card. And here are the parts and pieces you'll need for this card. So let me show you how this works. It's kind of like a double open card. So it opens this way with a peekaboo message, and then it opens this way. All right. So we're going to start with our stamping again. And we'll take our card base, and I'm not going to crease it quite yet because I like to stamp when it's nice and flat. So we'll start with our Calypso Coral ink, and we'll stamp our greeting in that lower right hand corner. All right, so right there. Okay, and then we want to stamp our peekaboo message. Now placement, you could stamp it now, or you could stamp it after you have the card assembled. The only reason I don't like to stamp it after the card is assembled is if I make a mistake, I can't flip it around. So I'm going to say it's probably, let's see if we can kind of measure it here. If I go like this, I would say, using my grid paper, it's about like the bottom of the greeting is at 2 inches from the top. So let's give it our best shot, shall we? So I'll ink up my stamp. And I'm gonna say about right here. And we'll stamp that down. Okay. So then, if we want, we can stamp a cute butterfly on the inside. So we'll use our fresh freesia. I like to start by stamping whatever section of the butterfly is kind of closest or tucked into a corner. So we'll ink up the bottom portion of his body. We'll angle it. Then we'll come back with the upper set of wings back to our Calypso coral. Okay, and then we'll bring in our parakeet party for his little body. Cute, huh? And if you wanted to, you could stamp that same butterfly on your envelope. All right, so let's set this aside so it can dry a little bit. And then let's work on these little designer series paper flaps here. And you got 2, and you might have gotten the kind of this, I don't know, grid paper looking fresh freesia piece, or you might have gotten polka dots, or a combination of both. And then along the one edge here, there's a score line. So we want to fold that like this on both pieces. And then we want to create that triangle. So what we're going to do is we are going to fold these 2 edges in towards that score line. Okay, and we're doing it to the back side of the designer series paper. Now, to kind of make this a little easier, you could use your grid paper, and at the top of the grid paper is what's called like a centering ruler. So you find your 0 point, so you have the same distance between the 0 point and to the right and the 0 point and to the left. So there we go. So then I'm going to put my finger here, and I'm going to fold this like that. So there we go. And then just bring the other side down as well. And put a nice crease on that with your bone folder. Okay, and I'm going to repeat that process with the second flap. Oops. So finger there. And again, put a nice crease on that. Okay. And then we want to seal those flaps shut. So I'm going to use a little Stampin' Seal here. And I want to make sure they really stay shut. So I'm going to do it this way. Okay, there we go. And here, here, and here. All right, there we go. Okay, now we'll start putting our card together. So we'll bring back in our basic white card base that we stamped, and we'll put a nice crease on that. And then we want to adhere these 2 flaps to this piece. Okay, so we want to put our Stampin' Seal on that remaining, well, not the remaining, what do I want to say? And that piece that had the score. Well, that's not even right. You know what I mean. And we want it to line up right at the top of our basic white card base. And we'll put this one on the opposite side. Now, I'm attaching it to the back of our basic white card base, and you want to get it tucked up nice and tight. So, again, the top of the designer series paper matches the top of the card base, and then we fold it over and make sure it's tucked really nice and tight. Hey, look at that. Looks like I did a great job with my peekaboo message. So next we'll add this to our fresh freesia layer, and we're going to mount that so we have equal borders on all sides. Okay, then let's assemble our butterfly, that detail element. So I'm going to flip over his little parakeet party body, and I'm going to put a little of my liquid glue on the back side of his body. And then I'm going to attach the body first to the upper wings, and then to the lower wings. A little glue there, but I move that so it doesn't end up getting on my card. Oops, looks like I didn't put enough pressure on that. Okay, there we go. And then I'm trying to hurry here. Should have let that dry just a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then we'll use our mini glue dots. I think I'll put like 3 along his body here. Then I'll attach this to our die cut circle. So this circle was die cut with some of our new dies called the Stylish Shape dies, and I love them. My new favorite. Oops, rid of that little dimensional. Okay, so then we just want to mount this to our card, and we want to mount it only on the left side. Now you could do that a variety of ways. You could use liquid glue, or I'm going to use a little Stampin' Seal. I think that'll be enough contact so it'll stay nice and firm. So close both flaps, and then kind of centered up there. And I put my little butterfly at an angle so he looks like he's fluttering. And then with our stamped envelope, there's our last card design. And now I want to share a few more samples I made using the Butterfly Kisses suite. This one highlights another die in the Build a Butterfly dies that is part of the suite. And this is kind of a go-to layout for myself. Just take a rectangle, put a piece of designer series paper on the bottom, a strip of something through the middle, and then something on top, a greeting or maybe a die cut image. And then I like to put a little something on the inside of my card as well. These Build a Butterfly dies are super cool because you can just die cut the butterfly out of pretty paper, or you can stamp the butterfly and then die cut it, or you can do the bigger shapes out of pretty paper, and then the dies have an insert. So let me show you. So it has an insert. So you can cut the basic shape, or you can add the insert and get like a detail layer to put over the basic shape. And what I found was if you add a piece of tape to the non-cutting side, then it's easy to cut that shape because you don't have to worry about the center hopping around. So I thought that was a fun trick, and it worked great. And then the dies also have a larger, just full butterfly. And in order to get the body to be a different color, what I did was I die cut a second butterfly, not the whole butterfly, but just this much, in the parakeet party color, and then I just trimmed it out and glued it on. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to try a slimline card? These are, think of like a legal size card. And I did a wash on a watercolor paper, and then I die cut the 2 butterflies to put on there. And for my greeting, I used my new favorite stamp set called the Go-To Greeting Stamp Set. And what I love about this stamp set is it has the same greetings, happy birthday, thinking of you, just a note, and thank you. Plus there's a little hello here in 3 different font styles, and then 3 different sizes. So you always have the right size greeting for the occasion that you need. Now we do have these slimline envelopes as well, and they come up 15 to a package, and you get 3 different colors. This happens to be soft succulent. There's white, and there's also, I believe, a gray. And what's fun about these is they have a liner in them as well, so they're kind of fancy. And lastly, I have a sample using my favorite new greeting set, and then they have this new set of dies called the Pretty Pop-Ups dies, and what's fun about them is it doesn't cut the image all the way through. It only cuts part of it, so you can do things like this and pop up part of it. Now I did die cut one and clipped it out, but it has a few different shapes, and then it also has individual little dies that I put on this strip. And again, they didn't cut the shapes out, but cut them enough. If I wanted to pop them up, I could. But you get the image. They're just so cool. So I hope these cards will inspire you to make even more beautiful cards with the Butterfly Kisses Suite from Stampin' Up.
Thanks for demonstrating how to make those fun cards, Brenda. Make sure to follow the link in the video description to access the special Pinterest board that Brenda and I have curated to show you even more ways to use your Butterfly Kisses supplies.
And we're mixing a few things up for next month's class. Instead of Gina designing the cards, I've designed them. And I'm excited to show you a sneak peek of the 3 card designs featuring the Splendid Day Suite by Stampin' Up. This suite is new and it can be found in Stampin' Up's July to December 2022 mini catalog. The easiest way to take July's class is to order a class kit by mail from either Gina or me. In your kit, you'll get all your cardstock cut and ready to go, embellishments, and envelopes. All you need to do is add the stamp set, ink pads, and a few other supplies shown here. The registration deadline for this class is July 5th, 2022. Check your email for additional class details, including a bonus opportunity to earn a free Stampin' Class by Mail card sampler kit with a qualifying purchase made with either Gina or me. If you're not already on our email list, contact either of us so we can share all the important class details with you. We'd love to hear from you, so make a comment on this video and let us know what your favorite card was this month. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our videos. Until next month, happy stamping!